Alright guys, here's your video for Monday the 28th. We're going to talk about relations and functions. I want you to be able to do these problems. I am going to have you guys hand me these problems when you get into the class. So first thing when you come to class, please hand this to me, okay? This is for Algebra 2. So, relations and functions. Relations and functions are very similar. Relations are a combination of inputs and outputs. Functions are a special kind of relation. Functions are when each input has one and only one output. So we're looking at the x's in particular, or the inputs, and making sure that for each x there's only one y. So I'm going to do a few examples. We can have them as points. Whoops. And it'll tell me, say, the domain and range. The domain are all of the x's. This one I'm going to do in roster notation because I just have 2, 3, 4. So 2, 3, 4. And the range are all of the y's. Again, roster notation, 4, 7, 9. We prefer to put these in increasing order. These just happen to be in increasing order from the beginning, but we want to put them in increasing order if we can. So I'm looking, are there any repeats on the x? And there's not, which makes it automatically a function. So that's how I can tell if it's a function or not, okay? If there's any repeats on the x with a different y, it is not a function, it's a relation. So this one's a function, okay? So another example. Domain, I only have 2 and 3 because 2 repeats, so I don't need to put it twice. Range, I have 3, 7, and 9. We never have to repeat these, even if they repeat up here on the domain and range. Now this one, I have 2 twice, which means this x has 2 different y's. So this is not a function, it is a relation. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Now, you guys might have noticed I had them listed as XY charts as well. That's the same thing. What we're looking at is we're just looking at what's the domain and what's the range. Domain are all my x's, 2, 3, 4. Range are all my y's, 6, 7, 9. There are no repeats on the x, which means that it's a function. Sometimes on my XY chart, I will have a repeat. On this one, my x's don't repeat, so my domain is going to be 2, 3, 5, 4. But my range is only going to be 6. So what that means really is that it's a flat line or a flat bunch of points on the graph, which is okay. So this, none of the x's repeat, so it's still a function. Now if it was the other way around, domain this time is just 6. Range this time is 2, 3, 4. But because this x repeats with multiple outputs, this is a relation and not a function. Now we do a thing that we call mapping. And mapping is a special way to show the points of a relation or a function. Mapping looks like I put all of my x's here in this, and I put all of my y's here in this. So using the same points I just did, the 2, 3, 4, whoops, the 2, 6, 2, 7, 2, 8, I'm using different points, I apologize. All of my x's go in here, I only have 2. All of my y's go in here, which is 6, 7, 8. And I draw an arrow from the x to the y. So 2 goes to 6. 2 goes to 7. 2 goes to 8. So notice this x is throwing multiple arrows, which makes it a relation. Each x can only throw one arrow. Sorry, I got a phone call in the middle of that video, that's why it stopped. So if it's the other way around, my x's this time are going to be 6, 7, 8. My y's are going to be 2. 6 goes to 2. 7 goes to 2. 8 goes to 2. It's okay for the y to receive multiple arrows as long as each x is only throwing one arrow. So this is a function. Hopefully that makes sense. When you're looking at it, you just want to be able to tell, is the x throwing more than one arrow? And if it is, it's a relation instead of a function. Okay, we'll do some more in class.